Echoes Hue. Audio Productions. Smooth, sweet sounds. Echoes Hue Audio Productions proudly presents a J.S. Mensah audio work.
Hi everybody, and welcome to my brand new podcast, Would You Adam and Eve It, with me, Del McCamley. Keep up to date with content from Echoes Hue Audio Productions by following us on TikTok, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget to follow, like and comment. In the next 20 minutes or so, I'll be talking about issues that affect us all on a national, local and global level. As the famous Blues Brothers once said, issues that affect you, me, them, everybody. Because everybody needs somebody. Somebody to love, miss and kiss and keep you all clued up as just what the hell is going on out there. Because if I don't tell you, then nobody will. Definitely not any of our competitors. So sit back, kick back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, glass of whiskey, glass of vodka. Oh, glass of whiskey, glass of vodka? What the hell? Who starts drinking at this time of the day? What? My producer just said everybody. No, man, that's not true. Not everybody. Anyway, just relax and know that Del is going to get in there and wiggle and jiggle out the workings of just what the heck is going on in that jolly game we call life. You know it makes sense. So stick with me. I'll put you right. Okay, with the current Horizon scandal inquiry, let's move on to the Horizon scandal, labelled as perhaps the grossest injustice of all time. Doesn't it make you proud to be British? So for those of you who don't know, this is the persecution of postmasters up and down the country for crimes which they didn't commit. Those of you not familiar with this, and there are some of you out there who didn't watch the groundbreaking, ghastly and powerful true account as dramatised by Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, and instead were gorging on some other tripe, here's a brief summary. Between 1999 and 2015, 900 postmasters, 900 throughout the UK, were accused of theft, false accounting and fraud by the Post Office. Even though a vast majority contested their innocence, and rightly blamed a glitch in the Fujitsu computers installed in their premises, they were told they were wrong and they were to blame. In the words of David Williams, computer says no. Some were forced to plead guilty to avoid prison sentences. Some even went to prison. One postmaster was given a prison sentence while she was pregnant and put on tag, and others even took their own lives. Let's just stop and think about it for a sec, folks. People killed themselves over this. After an investigation and legal action taken by a former post office employee, Alan Bates, give the guy a medal, he's a hero. 555 sub-postmasters and a company of accountants called Second Sight, Fujitsu had to hold their hands up and admit gross failings, and that their computers were faulty and that they had remote access control over all the computers from their own HQ. So, from the Fujitsu headquarters, they were able to control remotely what was going on in all the computers across all the post offices across the UK. In the end, the post office confessed to wrongful prosecution of 2,750 post office employees, offering each victim compensation. And let's not beat about the bush here, or real talk, as the kids say. They are and were victims. That's why I've used the word victims. Recent revelations have come to light that the post office actually knew at the time that they were wrongfully prosecuting people and it was their fault, but still went ahead destroying people's lives just to save face. So they lied in court. Excuse me, but isn't that called committing perjury? The willful committing of perjury before a court in the UK carries a maximum sentence of 7 years and or a fine. Let's get this straight. Let's not find these people. These people have money. These people destroy lives. These people are powerful people. Bang them up. Give them the maximum sentence. Don't give them a fine. It's not going to hurt them. Bang them up. This all came to light after a thorough investigation by Second Sight found that Ms. Paula Venables, the chief executive of the post office between 2012 and 2019, Angela van der Bogert, the post office head of partnerships, and Chris Uyard, the interim of GC of Post Office Limited, where he ran the legal function, covered up vital evidence that Fujitsu's Horizon computer system was faulty. Why aren't any of them in prison for that? The compensation came in the form of £75,000 to each person as an alternative to having the independent cases reviewed. In an interview with a newspaper, Alan Bates said, "The overturning of convictions is very good news, but the priority remains full financial redress to everyone impacted. £75,000 is an alternative having your case independently assessed. So for the smaller cases, it will probably suffice. But for many cases, it is not enough." Wouldn't you tend to agree? Ms. Venables was chief executive of the post office between 2012 and 2017 and was awarded an honour after quitting for services to the post office and to charity. Yeah, I'll just let you digest that a little bit. She was a group director from 2007 and also trained to practice as a Church of England deacon. So what makes it worse then, correct me if I'm wrong, is that not only has she perjured herself, she's sworn to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help her God? Van der Borgen graduated from the University of Glamorgan with a Masters of Business Administration in 2002. She had a 33-year career at the post office, holding down a number of roles, including Network Change Operations Manager, Head of Network Services, Head of Partnerships, Director of Support Services, and People and Change Director. Her last appointment was in 2018 as Business Improvement Director. That was for the post office. She'd been handling complaints about the computer system since 2010 and had sat on a working group to deal with scandal since 2014. When the case hit the High Courts in 2019, Judge Peter Fraser blasted Van der Bergen, saying there were 2 matters where she did not give me frank evidence and sought to obfuscate matters and mislead me. Van der Borgen stepped down from her role at the post office and the next year was appointed head of people at the Football Association of Wales, FAW. Welsh MP and member of the Synod Jack Sargent was angered by the appointment and said in a letter to FAW CEO Jonathan Ford, "The judge's comments and the consideration of the victims of the scandal across Wales and the UK should be at the forefront of your mind. In other words, why have we given this person a job?" Following Second Sight's findings and the post office's insistence that the postmasters and sub-postmasters were to blame and not the Horizon system, its forensic accountant, all-round good guy, Ron Warmington, give him a medal, the guy's a hero, told post office legal specialist Chris Uyard that the post office was more defensive than any company I've ever come across in my life, adding that the post office was in total denial that there was anything wrong at any point. As David Walliams said, "Computer says no." Mr. Warrington went on to say what that meant is that the Post Office Limited proceeded to criminal prosecution without the underlying factors having been investigated. What it all boils down to, people, is another classic example of the ordinary person suffering under the impregnable barrage of corporate pugnacity. Give them prison sentences. This is an injustice as well. Give them the money too. Even though government ministers have told us they've stopped dealing with Fujitsu because of this, And that's what they've said. Because of the scandal, we are going to stop all dealings with Fujitsu. It's interesting to know that Fujitsu is currently still bidding for the government's Matrix Cluster Transforming Programme, a 10-year government IT contract for modernising and consolidating back-office systems and services, worth a whopping £200 million. The contract will include, get this, the Treasury, Cabinet Office and Departments for Health and Education. A Fujitsu spokesman has said Fujitsu is not commenting on specific in questions. Ah, that's all right then. Also, on the same year that issues with the Horizon software was first flagged up, 2009, Fujitsu provided 28 servers for the Department of Business, Information and Skills. But please, don't be too hard on the Tories. We all know how difficult it is to break off a loving relationship. This is an injustice. Give them the money. In the meantime, Chief Executive Nick Reed has sent a letter to ministers saying he would be bound to oppose 369 of the over 700 appeals brought forward from the Horizon IT system because other evidence also supported these convictions. This flies in the muck in the face of what Postal Service Minister Kevin Hollinrake said in the Commons, telling them that the Horizon inquiry has heard evidence of the egregious behaviour of the Post Office's investigatory practices. In other words, how the bloody hell can you persist in prosecutions when the prosecutors are shown to be bleeding crooked? These prosecutions were conducted with about as much decorum and integrity as a baseball bat to the testicles, with one quivering, petrified victim, there's that word again, being told by an investigator at the time, "I know a thief when I see one." Just let that sink in for a sec. This poor woman in front of these people that work for the post office, technically the post office police, she was completely innocent, the computer system was at fault, and the guy said to her, "I know a thief when I see one." The rolling ball of corruption doesn't stop gathering its stink there. Tory MP Kemi Badenoch, after accusing and sacking Post Office Chairman Henry Staunton for not doing his job properly where compensation was concerned, has been busy awarding a team within her own department for Business and Trade Team of the Month. The lucky winner, ta-da! The Department for Business and Trade's Post Office team. The Postal Services Minister at the time of the investigations, Baroness Lucy Neville-Rolfe, who stuck with her advisers at the time and insisted for 3.5 years that the Horizon IT system was robust and could not be remotely accessed, is now supporting another colleague, Oliver Dowden, on a ton of stuff, including propriety and ethics. That's right, go to a mirror and watch your face drop in absolute disbelief. This is an injustice. Give them the money. And finally, just when you thought it couldn't get any more pitifully crummy, we find out that former Fujitsu man Simon Blagden still has ties with the Tories. Until 2019, Blagden was Fujitsu UK chairman. In 2014, a picture was taken of him sitting and chugging nosh with the likes of Post Office Chief Exec Paula Venables, Liz Truss and Kevin Hollinrake. What's more, Nadine Dorris, former Culture Minister, has made Blagden chair of Building Digital UK in 2022. This rakes him in a bulky £80,000 a year from us, the taxpayer. It's enough to make you want to ram your head through a computer screen. This is an injustice. Give them the money. Bang the ones culpable up. Put them in prison. I've been Del McCamley. And this has been Would You Adam and Eve It? Don't be shy. Tune in for next time. See ya.
Thanks for listening to an Echoes Hue audio productions project. Smooth, sweet sounds. Keep up to date with content from Echoes Hue Audio Productions by following us on TikTok, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget to follow, like and comment. Would You Adam and Eve It is written and presented by Dale McCamley. The podcast is directed and produced by J.S. Mensah. Our theme music is by Oleg Mazur.